Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year, the Chewstick crowd. My name is Glenn Fubler. A few weeks ago, we organized an event in this space for honoring the life of Nelson Mandela. And during that event, we had invited students from around the island to come and share their insights. And we have here tonight one of the persons who did that. And she did it, and she moved us so much that I said, did she really do this speech on her own? And I checked with her principal of Salters Grammar School, where she comes from. She's the head girl of the primary Salters Grammar School. And before I just go on that, I'd just like to big up the Chewstick crowd, because they've provided a forum for people for the last, I think it's 12 years. For the last 12 years, they've allowed the culture of Bermuda to seep through. And we'd like to big them up tonight and know that they are supported by this entire community. But as we see tonight, that we have to do a little more work to get more people to support their efforts. I'm coming tomorrow night. My family and I are coming tomorrow night. So what you need to do is when you go home this evening, get on those phones, etc., and spread the word. Let them know that Chewstick is doing their job. And before I introduce her, her name is Shayla Robinson. She has before you a speech, and they say, it's quoted, that a child shall lead them. Let's listen to this child tonight. Shayla Robinson.
Good evening. This is my tribute to Mr. Mandela. December 5th, 2013. This was the day the news flashed about the death of Mr. Nelson Mandela. As I watched the images and listened to the words used to describe him, I wondered, just who exactly was this slender, gray-haired man who always seemed to wear a smile? Thanks to the advances of technology, I rushed onto Google to learn more about Mr. Mandela, his life, his purpose, his legacy. After all, who could have known that the date of July 18th, 1918, almost 1 century ago, would mark the birth of a child who would bring about so much change and grow to be an inspiration for his country, South Africa, and the world. Fighting for an end to apartheid, the forced separation of races, Mr. Mandela was sentenced to life in prison in June 1964 during the Rivonia trial for refusing to accept a norm that should have never been allowed to be normal. The government called it treason, sabotage, and conspiracy, but all he really wanted was fairness for all and peace. He was locked up for 27 years in a tiny cell on Robben Island for trying to bring about good. And to think here I thought punishment confined to my room for actually doing something wrong was unfair. He was forced to work hard and in harsh conditions that ultimately made him sick and even damaged his tear ducts, preventing his ability to cry tears of joy or sadness. And to think here I thought hard work in harsh conditions was to have to do chores like take out the trash once a week. After only 15 minutes of researching, I was starting to see how Mr. Mandela's life was so influential, because with each new fact I saw about him, I was thinking a little differently and learning a lesson about life. For example, Mr. Mandela's earning a law degree and continuing to fight for freedom from jail, despite offers for his release, shows the importance of making the most of your circumstances no matter what, the importance of setting goals and sticking to them, the importance of sacrificing short-term gains for long-term ones. Mr. Mandela's bringing attention to injustice and seeking help from other countries, which over time led to his release from jail, shows the importance of asking for help when it is needed, that the actions of a few can make a difference, that sticking together and to your task can allow it to be accomplished. Mr. Mandela's maintaining a positive attitude to those who treated him badly and even inviting those who had locked him in jail to sit front row at his inauguration shows the importance of letting go of negativity, the importance of not holding grudges, the power of forgiveness. Mr. Mandela's becoming the president of South Africa shows that hard work really does pay off, that despite mistakes or setbacks, there's always an opportunity to move on, be successful, and achieve great things. Mr. Mandela is becoming the first black president of his country, and ending apartheid shows it always seems impossible until it's done. In conclusion, as I talked with my mom about Mr. Mandela, who I had both come to know through research and lose to death on the same day, I felt sad but also satisfied by all the new things I had learned. And at 10 years old, was inspired by him to want to be a better person. No one knows their purpose in life or the impact it can have on the world. However, I think that after Mr. Mandela's long walk to freedom, we owe him more than just words at his time of death. We owe him a promise to let his legacy and the freedom he fought for live on through our voices and actions. Thank you so much for everything, Mr. Nelson Zohelia Madiba Tata Mandela.